Greetings everyone and welcome back to another free-to-play 2022 video. I have been spending my time since yesterday working on my first Jem'Hadar character for a couple of reasons, and we want to start getting some account progress with an in-game character. We need someone who can do endeavors because this guy can't do endeavors yet. We want someone who can start farming dilithium, and we can't really do that yet either, although we will get some as we level up. And also I wanted to talk about my strategy going forward and sort of lay out a roadmap of how we're going to use the various systems in the game as we're leveling up to help progress our character and our account. But I can't show them to you when they're still locked. So if I were to log into this guy, and we're going to because I want to talk about something else, I can't show you the reputation system, I can't show you R&D, I can't show you duty officers and all that stuff because this character doesn't have them unlocked yet. So we are going to switch over to the Jem'Hadar so we can talk about that. But first, I want to talk about the promotion tab of the C-Store. So we're starting this account too late to get the anniversary ship, but it's not too late for us to get in on Event Campaign 4, which was just announced rather poorly. The video for that will either have been up already or be posted soon as of the time this one goes up, but we're going to be able to get started on that right away. But also, they just gave everyone in the game a Tier 6 ship coupon, and I had forgotten about that, and I was looking in the promotions tab. This is still available for another 8 days. They didn't market this very well. It was picked up on social media. I didn't do a video about it. You may not have heard about it. It's possible you didn't hear about this, or you may not have checked. I got mine the day it came out, and then I just forgot about it, like I said. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, log into the game within the next 8 days. Check your promotions tab and make sure you haven't collected it already, because that's a free starship. Now, are we going to use this? Well, now we have to talk about the poll that I did, and the majority vote, or the minority majority vote, was that I should do a Let's Play style series where I'm allowed to use anything I can get my hands on for free, and that seems to be an even more overwhelming amount of the sentiment in the comments, so we're definitely going to go that route. However, 1/3 of the people who voted said they wanted more of a tutorial series where I stayed clear of that stuff. I don't want to leave those folks behind, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to use this coupon, we're going to use event rewards and all that, but at certain intervals I'm going to take a little break, and every ship has 2 loadout slots, so I'm just going to keep both lanes open. And so every once in a while I'll say, hey, here's what my progress looks like if we remove all of that other stuff, and I'll just keep a more pure free-to-play version of my builds together so that we can compare them as we go along. Pardon the noise outside. Now, that's all I wanted to talk about actually on this character, because I haven't really had a chance to play on him yet, but that's going to be a big deal. So we have the Klingon KDF recruit who's going to give us the Bird of Prey refit. We're going to get Withering Barrage. We're also going to get this Tier 6 coupon. I'm not going to use it immediately because I need some time to think about what ship I'm going to use it on. I don't think we're far enough in yet for me to really know what kind of end-game build we're going for, whether it's going to be EPG or kinetics or energy weapons. Seems like we're going to lean energy weapons because we're also getting Withering Barrage for free, but with the event campaign reward, we may be shooting long term for something different than that, so I'm going to hold on to it for now. There's no rush to open it, and eventually we may be able to use it on the 12th anniversary ships, because they are available individually in the C-Store, or they will be when they come out. They're not going to be able to use it on it right away because I don't think they work on new ships, but if we wait long enough, we may even be able to pick up one of the 12th anniversary ships if we really want to. So it's a little bit unfortunately we didn't get in on time to get the anniversary ship, but we'll be able to get the summer ship, the winter ship, the event campaign ships, and any other rewards that we get throughout the year, including the rerun of the other recruitments. Now let's go ahead and switch over to our Jem'Hadar so we can talk about that, and we can talk about the plan for how to make progress. How do you make progress on a new account? So there are certain ways to make progress that you just can't do if you don't have an in-game character, and Jem'Hadar characters are ready-made in-game characters. That's what they're for. So if I were to go back into the Saurian that we have, and I were to try and open up the Reputation tab, I wouldn't be able to see all this. I would just see Q, and it would just be like, oh, it's locked. You don't have access to, you're level 3. What are you thinking? You can't access the Reputation system. And I wouldn't be able to access the endeavors. Actually, I could get to the menu, but I wouldn't be allowed to participate. I wouldn't be allowed to see what endeavors are available for the day, and I wouldn't be allowed to earn any endeavor points. So setting up the Jem'Hadar characters early not only primes me to get sponsored on those 3 reputations, the Omega, the Nukara, and the Iconian, but it also allows me to start making endeavor progress immediately. And we're going to go ahead, when you get 1 point for free. So when you initially get a new account, they just give you a free point. So when you're at Endeavor rank 0, you don't have to get to 20,000 Endeavor points to get your first perk. Your first perk is free. So let's go ahead and spend our first perk. We got Sprint Speed Ground, Energy Weapon Space, Control Resistance Space. That's pretty easy. We're going to go Energy Weapon Damage Space. So we're going to get our first Endeavor point. And then for the Endeavors today, just by doing the tutorial mission or whatever, I was able to get the defeat Herc ground attendants. Doesn't give you much, but I was able to do that. And I probably don't have time to go and do the rest of these today, but the point is that I will be able to do endeavors every day, even while we're waiting for the other guy to get leveled up. And then we could talk about reputations. So the end goal is to get all 13 reputations up to tier 6. That's very important. Every reputation has something of value in it. Discovery, of course, the big thing here is going to be the warp core and the shield. You see that on every build. The 2-piece gives you a huge amount of hull regeneration, which is very good for survival. The shield gives you extra shield damage. So it's just a really, really nice set that everyone uses, and there's other good stuff in there too, including traits. So if you take a look here at tier 4, you got Tyler's Duality. That's a very popular reputation trait. There's more stuff than that. Discovery is the newest one, and it's one of the best ones. Omega, good old-fashioned Omega, that has a lot going for it as well. Omega Kinetic Shearing is really popular for kinetic builds. You've got the Assimilated module, which is a great budget or free-to-play console. It gives you the crit chance, severity, weapon power, control expertise. So there's good stuff in there. The Nukara reputation has a bunch of good stuff in it as well. You've got the auxiliary power configuration, offense and defense are pretty good if you're doing a high aux build. They can be good in some situations for that. Not to mention a lot of these have really good weapons in them. And then besides all that, because we could go down here and spend all day talking about the stuff each one of these has. The competitive has the impulse engines that everyone uses, for example. Terran Task Force has the Terran Task Force disruptors and beam arrays, and on and on and on. And then, of course, the enhanced biomolecular photon torpedo and the neutronic torpedo. But on top of that, all of them, once you get to tier 6, are going to have, and I can't see them on here because I don't have any tier 6 reputations yet, are going to give you a chance to get a fleet ship module, a retrain token. So that's super valuable stuff. And those fleet ship modules that you get by getting the reputations to tier 6 are essentially the way that you're able to get C-store ships without having to get Zen. It's not as good as getting a ship from the C store because you don't get the trait, you don't get the console, but you do get the ship. And there's a pretty good selection of fleet ships out there, so that's really, really important. The other thing is the R&D system. People, it's easy to forget about this, especially since people think it's kind of a dead system. But as you level up each school in R&D, you can get personal traits, personal space traits, and you can get beam barrage. When you get your beams up, that's going to give you some bonus beam damage. Cannons are going to give you deft cannoneer, which is going to give you some extra inertia. Mostly the damage ones are good. That you get kinetic precision from projectiles. That's going to give you some extra shield penetration for your kinetics. The science one is going to give you crit chance and severity. Well, a huge amount of crit chance and severity for your exotic abilities. It's one of the best personal space traits in the game, and that's free to everyone if you just level up your schools. So as soon as we unlock the R&D system, we're definitely going to start doing the projects. If you scroll all the way down, you pick one of the schools here, you scroll all the way down, you'll see a research project. You want to be doing as many of these as you can every single day until you get all of them up to level 10 or 15. Ideally 15, focusing on the ones that are going to give you the traits, the most important traits. And then also there's a lot of crafting we want to do as well, specifically batteries. So you can get batteries from beams, from cannons, from engineering. Engineering is also going to give us the deuterium surplus. You can't make it yet because you got to go do a patrol in order to unlock it. But there's a lot of good stuff that you can, consumables that you can craft, including those batteries and the deuterium surplus. So that's a system that we're definitely going to want to start leveling up as soon as possible. Then you also have the duty officer system, which is more important for these alts because they're going to be using it to farm dilithium for us so that we can buy Phoenix upgrades and all that kind of stuff. But then there's also the Admiralty system, and there's just plenty of good rewards from the Admiralty system. You get the dilithium bonus pools. We're going to want to get into a fleet, and when you do the Klingon one and you get your 10 of 10 reward for doing that, you're going to get dilithium vouchers for your fleet, which will allow you to make contributions to your fleet as though you were paying actual dilithium in order to get fleet credits, and we're going to want fleet credits. There's a lot of things in the game, upgrades to the default personal traits like beam training and cannon training. It's going to cost fleet credits. If we want to get elite hangar pets at some point from our fleet, we're going to need a whole bunch of fleet credits. There's an inexhaustible number of things we're going to need fleet credits for. Fleet marks are one way to get it, but a far more reliable way is dilithium. We don't want to give them our regular dilithium if we can avoid it, because we need that for Phoenix upgrades. So being able to use this to get these vouchers is also very valuable. We can also use it to even just get some specialization points, which is pretty useful. It's hard to get Admiralty cards early on, but we may do it just in order to get the Admiralty card. We may take all of these up to level 10 just to get their Admiralty cards, and then because if you take a look at your traits and you take a look at your skills and your specializations, once you get all of your points for your skill tree, you start earning those specialization points, and it makes a big difference. You're going to have one active and one primary and one secondary, and having those filled out, having your primary and secondary specialization filled out is a pretty huge deal. So that's going to help us a lot as well. So we need to grind experience. Even after we hit level 65, it's important to keep grinding experience so we can fill in our specializations. And once we get all the specializations filled in, every time we level up, we'll get a little bit of dilithium. So for the Admiralty can even give us some specialization points. So there's a lot of good stuff for us to be able to get in the Admiralty system as well. And so the basic thing is going to look like this. We're going to get leveled up. At some point, we're going to get access to duty officers. We can start doing duty officer chains. We're going to get access to R&D. We're going to want to start leveling up our R&D schools. At some point, we're going to get access to the reputation system. We're going to try and save up a bunch of marks on the way there by doing patrols so that we can start filling in our reputations and start working towards tier 6 on those. We're going to get access to the Admiralty Admiralty system, we're going to start using that to get rewards. And then endeavors, and as soon as we're able to do endeavors, we're going to take that off of the Jem'Hadar characters, start doing it on our main character, and that's going to give us those permanent account-wide buffs for every character on our account. And then beyond that, we're just going to do the events. There's usually events running most of the time. Recently, last year, it feels like there's an event going on more often than there's not, and they don't all have to be event campaign level rewards. Sometimes it's smaller rewards, like an experimental ship upgrade token. I'm sure they're going to offer that at some point. We're going to want that, or a universal tech upgrade, or from a red alert event or something. So we're going to want to pick up all those small rewards along the way as well. And then of course during the winter and summer events, we're going to have access to earn the widgets. If you come in here, we can go to events and we can go to reclaim rewards. Not in there, that's not what we want. The event store. The winter and summer event stores, we could maybe buy some of these widgets off of the exchange, the player exchange. They might be kind of expensive, but when the respective events come around, we'll be able to earn them. And then a great way to do that is you can earn a bunch through duty officer assignments to use to buy the stuff you want. And there's some pretty good stuff in here, like bridge officer training manuals and stuff. And then if you have excess, they sell pretty well, so we might be able to make some money off of them as well. So those are all things to look forward to. In the meantime though, during these super early days when my guy is still level 3 here, we're going to want to focus on doing episodes, and we're going to want to focus on doing episodes that are going to give us good episode rewards. We're going to want to get the Fekiri Torment engine. We're going to want to get the rewards from Brushfire, the Martok set, the rewards from Beyond the Nexus, and several other ones. So I'm going to keep working on setting up the other two Jem'Hadar characters, getting them to level 62. You can do that through patrols after you finish the tutorial. You can do the Romulan ones if you just go like do Japori and Gamma Edron and Archer system and all that. You don't have to do the episodes, you just have to get to 62 somehow. So I need to make 2 more, get them to level 62, then I can come back to this guy and start getting mission rewards and start getting him leveled up and start saving up some marks for when we get the reputation system unlocked. And so there's not a lot to talk about today, unfortunately, not much progress, but it's only day 2, and I look forward to day 3, so I hope you'll join me for that. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.